Do, 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 do. Left of the box. Hello, welcome to Left of the Box. Oh, that was Autism. Bonjour, bienvenue. I'm Sandy. When I first started my channel, I was getting a lot of inspiration from other lefty content creators I saw. And I was always impressed by their ability to just go onto camera and speak their mind, like have the articles ready and just be able to talk away about it. And I thought, you know what? I'm probably not going to have that much difficulty with it because I have a background in improv and, I can speak off the cuff, I can ad-lib things. And then I sat down to try it and failed and failed. And I keep failing at it. And a lot of people say, you just need to practice at it and it will come to you. And in a lot of my longer videos or shorter videos, there's times where I'm reading from a news article or reading tweets, and I would try my best to speak off the cuff about them, go to the different parts of the articles, read the tweets, and then say my thoughts. And it was always coming out such a jumbled mess that eventually, with, well, pretty much all of them, I'd end up breaking down and just scripting it out. Like literally, like here are the lines in the article I'm to read, pause, this is the script I'm going to read, back to the article, have things highlighted so it was easy for me to go back and forth. And I was really hoping that I could just practice enough and get there, but I haven't been able to see much improvement when I'm doing that with the articles and with tweets and things of that sort. And I was thinking to myself, like, this doesn't make sense. I seem to be fine talking in some situations and not others. And now I'm starting to connect the dots as to why. And a lot of it has to do with being autistic. Generally speaking, I'm very good at communicating and saying what I mean and how I feel. Like doing a one-on-one conversation with someone, I love and I thrive on conversation, and I can usually get into a conversation with somebody and we can sometimes spend hours just talking about different things and it flows and we connect to different subjects and it's great and I really enjoy it. Like I said, I used to do improv and I was really good at it. I could get up on stage and talk away with no problems, but I realize that's because when you're doing an improv scene and you're there with other people, it's a yes and situation. So if I say something that is incorrect for this world, in that scene and in that improv world, that is now canon for whatever that scene is. And, you have people there to support you. So if you were to freeze, then somebody can be there to help guide you out of it, that sort of thing. And I just loved going on and playing characters and stuff. But part of what made it easier was having the audience there. You see, another place where I'm also really good at just talking is in front of people. I am one of those rare people where I like to speak publicly. I'm a public speaker, which for all the groups that I volunteer with, love. They love having me around so that if they ever need a public speaker, I'm like, I'll do it, I'll do it. And that takes a lot of weight off of their shoulders because apparently that's a fear for most people. You see, like even right now, I'm just trying to do this off the cuff and I'm struggling because I have all these thoughts in my head that I want to get out and make sure that I say them in the right order. And sometimes it's all jumbled in my head, and so it can take a moment for it to kind of, smooth out. So instead of adding a lot of and ers, I tend to just pause, which is why these videos where I'm just talking tend to have 8,000 cuts, because I can just be talking and then all of a sudden just freeze because I'm trying to think of the right word or the right order of words to say. When I started calling into the majority report, I had no idea why I was freaking out so much because I can talk really well in a group situation where, it's not a stage, it's not just focused on me. But then in other group situations, I find I can't get a word in edgewise. And then I realized what the difference was. If there's a facilitator in the group, somebody kind of controlling who gets to talk and stuff, and I do really well in those types of groups. But if it's like a social group or a group with a bunch of people and they're all talking, I struggle to know when to interject. And there's something I want to say, but by the time I kind of, you know, get myself into the conversation, it's past the point and it's almost like, okay, so that thing that we were talking about like a minute ago, yeah, about that, which doesn't work well in conversations. And I always marveled at people in groups and how they're just able to do that, how it's almost like they psychically know who's going to talk. And of course, there are the people who just butt in and talk over people and things of that sort. And so I can struggle in those situations. But the thing about what makes calling into the majority report so terrifying for me is there are usually 4 people at a minimum there, because you see Sam and Emma in front of the camera, but then there's also Matt and Bradley. I think it's Bradley behind the camera. And then on Thursdays, there's even more people. And the thing is that I can't watch them live. There's a delay. So it's even harder for me to know when I'm supposed to speak, what I'm supposed to say, how it's coming across. And I find that I have similar problems, like if it's a video conference with a lot of people, I never know when or how to talk. When there's an audience and I can see people, I can feed off of their reactions. But when it's nothing, like what I'm doing right now to the camera, I have no idea if what I'm saying is making any sense. But when I'm talking to people face to face, I can sometimes see, oh, there's a bit of confusion or something. Maybe I need to clarify, that sort of thing. So I'm trying to use this as like a way of, I guess, practicing talking off the cuff. And this is one of the reasons why I'm having a hard time like really focusing on starting to do the live streams, because I'm worried that I'll end up pausing a lot or I'll say something I don't mean, because another thing that can happen is if I get stressed, my dyslexia really comes out. So there's certain words or phrases that I might reverse, and sometimes if you say it the wrong way, it can be really offensive, and then trying to explain to people after the fact, it's like, no, it's just dyslexic. It's nothing I meant. It's nothing intended. Can be challenging. Did I hit record? Yes. Okay. I was gotta remember if I did that. I also mispronounce words, misspeak words a lot, and have to like redo them a lot, and even use Google to like say the word for me and then me practice the word. And it's hit and miss. Like sometimes I'm fine at pronouncing these words, and other times it's like I just forget how to speak these words. So I'm hoping that when I do a live stream that I'll have lots of people to respond to, at least, because if I'm struggling to figure out what to say next, it's helpful if there's somebody in the chat to maybe have a comment or something to get me going, because once I'm in the flow of a conversation, I can usually do pretty well as well. There was something I was going to say and I'm having troubles remembering what it was. Oh, right. Speaking of which, part of the reason why I like scripting out my videos is it slows down the thought process enough that I can really focus on what I'm saying. So everything in my script is completely authentic. It's completely me. But I'm able to express it and word it better than if I'm just talking like this. And a lot of my humor can come out that way, because sometimes I might have to think about something, usually to help my brain kind of figure out scripts and points and funny parts that I want, going on long walks and dancing to Euro dance music, EDM music. That helps my thought process as well. So sitting here in a quiet room, just trying to talk, can be really challenging. And I'll let you in on another secret. Let's just keep it between all of us here. Another reason why I'm really worried about doing live streams is that a part of me will have to rely on people in the chat asking questions and things of that sort. Engagement really helps. I'm worried not many people will show up. It's so hard to break through the noise on YouTube, to have people actually, engage in the chat with me, to talk with me, to make it feel like I have an audience. Like, one of the things I will strongly recommend people in my chat do is use a lot of emojis. If you're feeling something, use the emojis so that I can kind of gauge where I'm at. Because this is hardly in front of a live studio audience, which I would prefer so much more than just this. Or even if I had producers or a co-host or somebody of that sort to be sitting here helping me with the flow of the conversation. So the more that I've been learning about autism, the more I've been finding out that other people also have these similar struggles, where in some settings you can talk all you want, in other settings you can't. If you're talking about your special interests, it's just like an info dump, and I've been there and I've done that to people. And when you're doing something like that, it's helpful because there you actually know all the facts. Where another reason why I can't just ad lib videos about news articles is that there's usually very specific points I want to get across, and the information has to be accurate. Like, there's specific points, there's facts, there might be different video clips that I want to get to, and I'm worried that if I don't have them written out in a script, I either get them wrong or forget to add them. Yeah, so I hope this rambling mess of a video helps other people who are also autistic understand you're not alone in this. Or maybe if you're wondering if you're autistic, if you are relating to a lot of what I'm saying, then it might be worth looking into to see if it is something you believe you have. Yeah, the more I've been learning about autism and seeing the similarities and like all these checkpoints and me just like, yep, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. I really wish I could have gotten diagnosed when I was younger as a kid. Even though I don't know how much that would have changed my life, at least then I would have known why I am the way I am, as opposed to me just always getting it wrong. Anyway, this is me rambling again, and I should probably find a way of ending this and hope that I don't start editing this and then realize, oh, there was something really important that I wanted to add in, and then you see a cut. And for those of you who pay really close attention, you might notice things like my hair is different, the lighting is slightly different because I'm recording it in a future event. Anyway, that's typical for video essayer makers, YouTube show makers. I'm rambling. Okay. So I guess I'm practicing on how to end these videos by doing my traditional sign off by saying, don't forget to hit buttons and leave comments. You can find me on Twitter if it still exists. I think he's rebranding it, which is just... I really love Twitter. I really loved what Twitter was. I really hate where it's going. But if you can't find me on Twitter, I have TikTok, Instagram. I've heard of Threads. I don't want to sign up for another one of these social media things, but I will if I have to. I'm also on Blue Sky, which is showing potential. A lot of people are saying, well, it's not as popular as Threads or Twitter. And it's like, well, it's not open to the public yet either. So you're not comparing apples to apples there. If you can, please support my content by becoming a patron or purchasing something off my wish list. Every little bit helps. Links are in the description box below. A special thanks to those of you who already have. Salut, à la prochaine. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. I'm Sandy, wishing your tomorrow is better than your today.